Yo, so guys, it is Tom and welcome back to a brand new video. And finally I'm back on the video grind after a week in the UK for Silverstone, and we are back here with some more MotoGP content from my rider career, and we are here for my debut in Moto2, and I can confirm and announce I've signed for the Red Bull KTM IO team. So we're going to jump straight into the first race at Qatar. Once again, a double header episode most likely, with the first two races of the season, where we're going to start off at Qatar and then go to Termas del Rio Hondo. But I'm going to kick things off for Qatar for the first race of the season, jumping straight into qualifying. Right, qualifying at the very unique Qatar circuit, the only nice circuit on the calendar, on the MotoGP race calendar, and we're here for season 2 in the Moto2 category, and I'm very much looking forward to qualifying here and my debut on the KTM, which is a bike I've wanted to race for and race with for a long time. But we're finally here, so we're now going to jump straight to qualifying and see what sort of lap times we can produce and see how far up the grid we can get. Okay, I'm 6 tenths off the pace in the third sector. It's been a pretty okay opening lap here. I've done a little bit of practice just to get acclimatized to the Moto2 bike, but I think I'm going to need a few more laps here to really try and get top of this bike. But it's definitely a much bigger beast and different beast compared to the Moto3 bikes, obviously. So it's going to take a lot more getting used to, and I think I might need a few laps here to really get up to speed. But half a second off the pace on my first attempt, which isn't too bad, and hopefully I can try and improve on that these next few laps. Okay, second lap fairly okay. I'm on for a personal best here. Let's see if I can improve in the final sector. And the answer is no, I don't actually lose a bit of time. So, more or less where I feel like the bike is right now. I need to find a bit more time, but so far I'm seemingly struggling for it as I miss my apex at turn 1 slightly. I'm going to squat the power on. Let's see if I can try and improve on my second lap here, or third lap should I say now. Okay, at the final corner, I'm fastest in the third sector. I've currently got 2 tenths in my pocket as we run it into the final sector. Let's see if I can get into the first place. Let's have a look as we come across the line. Is it first place? Yes, it is. And we've held our margin through the final sector, and that's going to be first place for now at Qatar. And I think that's going to be the end of my qualifying session as I completely get turn 1 all wrong. Right, so pole position in my Moto2 debut, exactly the same as last year, and I got pole in my debut in Moto3. So history repeats itself, and I'm the man who's on pole for the first race of the season at Qatar for season 2 in Moto2. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the race.
The bikes have taken their places on the grid. The light is about to go out any second now. This is when the riders have to clear their minds completely so they can give it everything they've got.
Right then, here we go. It's Qatar, brand new bike, brand new season, 4 red lights. Let's see if we try and get a good start here. Lights out, and away we go for a brand new season. Let's try and have a good start, unlike in Moto3. And looks like we've had a pretty decent one actually. It's still in the first place as we go into the first corner here. Gonna go for a wider line, gonna try and bring the nose down. Can I try and fight these guys here? That's the question. I'm gonna try and get past Oliveira, my teammate, up the inside of turn 2. Got the Mark VS bikes also racing us for position here. Oliveira makes a move up my inside. I'm going to pick up the traction and the power on the exit as we go through the kink of turn 3. Very close to Morbidelli there. Morbidelli just holding on to first place as we now filter through into the second sector. Let's see if I'm going to try and get back underneath these guys as we get past Oliveira once again. Alex Marquez making a move on me. Get back past him though, straight off the bat. Let's try and keep up with Morbidelli. First racing these bikes. I don't know how these guys are going to behave, so we've got to work out to try and race these guys for position as we now got Thomas Luthi up the inside. I just about go on the outside of all of them. And we're now going to try and just focus on what's ahead and not what's behind us. As Alex Marquez tries to make a move up my inside once again. I'm going to try and squat the power on here and not let Marquez get past me as we go through this nice little swooping section as we go into the next right-hander. Marquez and Luthi and also Oliveira all trying to get up my inside. So this is not a good start to the race here. Losing positions left, right and centre. We got, who's that? Baldassarri making a move there. I'm going to squirt the power on bit earlier this time to see if I can pick one of these guys off into this next corner. I'm pretty good into this braking zone, so let's try and got the inside of Baldassarri here. Can I pull it off? Not quite. He just gets back past me. They're also Passini as well, so I'm dropping like a stone through the field at the minute. Just need to try and find a rhythm here in this race setting, a race pace. Oh, Baldassarri's gone down, so there you go, a full right in front of us. I'm going to get past Passini in the process, so there we go, a double overtake. Passini stuck onto my rear wheel. I'm going to get the power on. I'm back up into P5, but I need to try and not let this leading pack slip away because I need to really try and stick with these guys to have any chance of challenging by the end of the race. As Passini tries to have a look up my inside, but I think's better of it. Just got the power on and onto the pit straight now to start lap 2 out of 5. Okay, so here we go onto the pit straight, onto the start of lap 3. I've caught up to these guys. I put a gap into the guys behind. My rear tyre's going off pretty damn quickly, so that's a slight concern. As we go into turn 1, we've got a few guys battling up ahead. I think we've got Luthi and Marquez battling for P3. I've got to try and nurse this rear tyre slightly, so a little bit of a tyre setting is in order here to try and make my tyres last until the end, and I've got a medium on the rear, so this is pretty serious tyre wear right now as we got right to the back of Thomas Luthi, through the kink, right on the back of him, running a little bit wide there onto the curbing. He's trying to get past Alex Marquez. I'm just going to wait behind these guys, maybe try and wait for the move, as I'm looking pretty racy now, settling to a bit of rhythm. Like I said, I'm just hoping my tyres don't bite the dust, but so far things are looking pretty damn good, and I'm just sitting behind these guys now, in position, waiting for my moment, and I'm going to try and overtake them as soon as possible. Luthi and Marquez really battling it out up ahead really fiercely. I'm sort of keeping my tyres under control, even though those sort of burnouts aren't going to help matters, but the tyres are pretty much under control. I still don't feel like I'm losing pace. Right now, Moto3 I would have lost pace by now, so maybe on the Moto2 bikes you can sort of lean in your tyres a little bit more than Moto3 bikes, but either way, things are still looking pretty damn good. I'm still pretty competitive, and I think the best I can do this race is maybe 3rd place, so let's try and do that. On for the last lap of the race, these two guys are still battling out hammer and tongs for 3rd place. I really want to try and get on this battle here. I'm just struggling for some pace, but somehow I'm still keeping on the back of him. Let's see if I can try and get onto the back of Luthi here through this next right-hander. I seem to have good speed through this section, and this time I'm much closer than previous laps here, as I just got to wait for the moment to strike here like a cobra. I'm just waiting, but that moment isn't coming just yet, and I need to get a little bit closer to really be in the mix and make a possible move on these guys. And I've had a good exit through there. Gonna try maybe go on the brakes on Luthi here, not quite, takes a very early apex, so that covers the inside line. I'm gonna keep an nice and tight on the exit. Right now we're looking pretty damn good and pretty damn racy here behind Luthi, so let's just try and wait for the chance. Luthi running a little bit wide there. I'm gonna screw on the power a little bit earlier than him, take a bit of a different line through the next left-hander, but I don't have the confidence through this next right-hander to really make a move, so I don't know where I'm going to make the move. I don't know whether AI are particularly bad on the brakes, which is quite the annoyance for me, so I've just got to try and guess a spot and make the move stick. But here we go then, through this sort of swooping flat-out left-hander, and maybe now on the brakes into this next corner I can get really close to Luthi as I take a very nice early apex right on the back of the Swiss man. I'm going to get on the brakes, think about a move, but not quite. Luthi just holding it there for now. As we go through the next right-hander, we've only got a few more corners to go in this race. I'm looking very racy behind the Swiss man, so let's try and make a possible move into the final corner. I've got a good run through there. I'm going to pick up the traction. I'm a little bit far back, and I think Luthi might have just taken it from me there, and I don't think I'm going to be able to make a move, as he's had a pretty damn good exit out of there into the final corner. I'm going to try and pick up the power early on, try and pick up a nice toe down the pit straight. Have I got any chance of getting him down the main straight across the line? I'm gaining on him, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Let's see if I can get him. Shifting up to 6th across the line, and not quite. It's going to be P6 for Qatar, my first race on the KTM machine, and a disappointing one to say the least after we started in 1st place. So overall a pretty poor race. We still got the fast lap of the Grand Prix, so it goes to show that we did have some pretty damn good overall pace, but not the pace that we needed to win the race. And Morbidelli takes the race win in the first race of the season here. So we're now going to jump over to the second race at Argentina and Termas de Rio Hondo and see if we have any more luck there, but I'm fearing the worst, because in Moto3 we struggled around there a little bit. So let's see if we can try and convert our pole, or should I say maybe a next pole, into a better race result next race round. So let's jump into Termas de Rio Hondo. Right, qualifying in Argentina, the track where infamously last year I fell off in the race of the last lap, and my bike basically slid across the line to finish the race, even though I still got some points. But hopefully I can try to get a better result here today, and hopefully the Moto2 bike works better for me than the Moto3 one. But last race to Qatar, nothing special, so I really need to hope I get a better result here today. Okay, first lap was really poor. Had a little bit of traffic in Simone and Coolsey, and I just decided to back off, and also had a very scruffy lap. So I'm going to try and go for it again on a second attempt, and hopefully we can make a better attempt of it second time round. Okay, through the final couple of corners, it's been a much better lap. Only a half second off through the 3rd sector. I'm not expecting pole around here. This isn't a track where I don't think I'll get pole, because I just don't have the pace. Half second off that lap round, that wasn't too bad. We're going to go for another attempt here, but I just don't feel like I've got the pace compared to other circuits. I was on for a good lap, but I just lost it in the final sector there. I'm struggling for pace in qualifying. I just can't seem to get a really good lap under my belt. I'm still in P6, which isn't too bad, but I just can't seem to hook up a perfect lap around here. Alright, I'm on for another improvement here. Let's see if I can this time try and nail the final sector and try and actually improve the lap time. Through the final corner, little small lift across the line, and we do improve slightly. We're now only 4 tenths off the pace, but we are still in P6, so Just can't seem to really make the inroads that I want in a lap. But the third sector is where I lose half a second. That's the sector that hurts me the most. The other three, I'm basically matching first place here in sectors 1, 2 and 4. So it's just the third sector I need to try and find some time. So let's try and go for one more and see if I can try and find that time. If not, I'm going to call it a quit for qualifying. Okay, so it's a much better lap. I'm only 2 tenths off now in the third sector. I'm fastest in the first and the second, so I've made up for the time that I lost in the third by getting a very good first 2 sectors. We've got only one more corner to negotiate now, the final sector. Let's try and get it across the line. Going to try and keep it almost flat out. Small little lift across the line. We improve only 2 tenths off the pace, but it's only a P5. And I just don't think I can get any more time. That was pretty much a perfect lap for me. I can't really complain about that. I don't know where I'm going to find the time anymore. Right then, that is the final qualifying results for Argentina, and P5 on the grid, not too bad, just behind my teammate Oliveira there, and Morbidelli getting pole position this time around by 1,000th of a second ahead of Thomas Luthi there, so very close between those top 3, and those in the top 3 only covered by 26,000th of a second, so that goes to show how close it was around this circuit. But overall, P5 the best I could have hoped for. I just couldn't find any more pace on my bike, and I think that's going to do it for qualifying, and we're now going to move into the race.
Just a few more seconds for the race to start. Will those riders on the front row be able to make the most of their advantage? Or will those pre-race nerves get the better of them?
Right then, here we are, round 2 of the season at Argentina. 4 red lights, and it's going to be lights out, and away we go. Let's try and get a good start here off the line. Try and pick up the traction, pick up some good speed as we go into turn 1. Going to try and find the braking point. Up the inside of all of the guys here, and up into first place. What a start from us there. And we've made it work. We're up into first place at Argentina. Unbelievable scenes here as we take the lead of the race. Marquez now got my inside. Also Luthi forcing his way back through. I'm going to close the door on Luthi. Cut back underneath Marquez. Pick up the power and go through the kink here. Try and pick up some speed. Get the power on, and here we go. Onto the back straight for the first time this race. Going to try and move to the inside. Shake off the slipstream from these guys. And pick up the braking point and try and extend my lead in first place. But an incredible start here at Argentina as we slow it all down now for this very slow right-hander, taking an early apex to avoid guys going up my inside. Going to wait to pick up the power, and there we go, squad it on flat out. Now going through flat out through this left-hand swooping corner here. Just going to try and keep it nice and tight on the apex, using the gears to try and get the nose in. Now slowing it down for this next right-hand. A very tricky corner here. The AI are very good on the brakes into here, so I've met my match, and Morbidelli just barges me out the way to retake first place. So Morbidelli showing zero respect there and just barging his way through, and I'm going to have to sit behind him as Marquez, and that makes the move up my inside through this next left-hand, and also Oliveira as well. Going to let these guys make the move for now. I'm going to wait for my chance to strike back as I run a little bit wide through there. Going to try and switch back on Marquez, pick up the traction. Can I go around the outside of him? It's going to be very, very tight, very close, but I've made it work. And there we go, we've held on to P2, just going around the outside of Marquez beautifully there. And now we've got to slow it down for the penultimate corner. Going to squat on the power nice and early and take the final corner with some fairly good speed. And we're going to end lap 1 in second place. So a pretty damn good start to this race, and a much better contrast to where it was this time last year in Moto3. So you can see where things have improved in a year's time. A few setup tweaks as well on the motorbike for the race compared to qualifying to try and improve the bike settings. But so far, so good as we're now in second place behind Morbidelli on lap 2. Let's try and catch up the Italian rider and possibly line him up for a move into the next few corners as we get a good run through there. Going to carry some nice speed through the kink onto the back straight now. I think I'm a little bit too far back for a move on Morbidelli, but I'm going to hold into second place quite nicely. Onto the start of lap 4, and I'm still keeping up with Morbidelli. He's pulling out slightly, but it's me, Morbidelli, and Oliveira who are putting out the gap up front to the rest of the guys behind. So Morbidelli's got some really strong pace up front on the Mark VDS machine. I'm trying to match him here, so it's going to be hard. Like I said, I feel good with the bike. The pace is good. It's better than last year and better than qualifying, but do I have enough to get Morbidelli? I'm not sure, but I'm going to still try my hardest nonetheless. But Morbidelli is a little bit out of reach right now, which is a slight annoyance, and I think I'll be battling with Oliveira, my teammate, instead of Morbidelli for the next couple of laps. As here comes Oliveira by the look of it. He's not picking up a toe though, but he's going to try and look for the inside. I'm going to try and brake nice and late here, not let him get my inside line into this next right hand, and there we go. He's going to sit behind me for now, so that's not too bad. We're going to hold on to P2, squirting the power. I know Oliveira's going to look for the outside line, but no way through there, and I think I'm going to hold on for now. But this next right hander is where the AI are pretty damn good, so I'm worried that Oliveira might go for a lunge on the brakes if I'm not good enough here. Finding the apex, and there we go. We've managed to keep it under wraps, under control, and Oliveira's going to have to try and get past me elsewhere, and that's exactly what he's done. Is he's picked up the traction beautifully through there and gotten past me with relative ease as I'm spinning up my rear tyre quite severely, and I'm starting to struggle now on these rear tyres, but I still feel like I can challenge these guys and push them for a good finishing position if I keep a cool head and just keep pushing along. As I get onto the grass slightly there, and that's going to pretty much set me back from Oliveira permanently. Going to try and have a look on the brakes up the inside of my teammate here. I'm going to go for it. A little bit of contact. I'm going to use him as an apex. I'm onto the grass, which isn't good, and I'm gone. I'm absolutely gone. Big crash. Just turning in too much there, and that's going to cost me a heap of time. I'm down to P10, so I'm still in the points, but I've got a big 2 laps ahead of me here. I want to try and get inside the top 10. So let's try and get a head down and keep going. Oh, we've got a crash. That's Baldassarre who's gone off again. So that's going to put us up into P9. But right now, my front tyre is completely gone. I've only just realised this, but my front tyre is completely finished. It's finished. Like, the tyre's completely wasted. Worse than my rear tyre. And I'm severely struggling now for tyre wear. And I just wonder, I'm going to have to completely rethink my riding style in Moto2 if I want to try and progress nicely, because these last 2 races, the tyre wear has been absolutely horrific, and I'm just really struggling overall for pace. So here we go, going to force a move on that Kagami, and that's probably just a bit of a stupid mistake for me to make, and that's going to cap off a pretty poor episode. As I go down again, it's all gone wrong. I'm just, it's not ending well for me. The tyres are gone, and that is going to be the end of the Argentina Grand Prix, and wow, that was poor. That was really poor. Wow, really bad pace, and just nothing to really shout about there. My best lap of 43.0. I mean, sort of matching the main guys up front, but I don't like this track. I really struggle around here, and yep, that was Argentina and Qatar for the first episode, and my Moto2 debut. Couldn't have gotten off to a better or worse start, or should I say, couldn't have gotten off to any of a worse start. There you go, that's what I'm looking for. So, yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, then a thumbs up would be appreciated. Also, if you're new on here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel for future content like this and other F1 content. But overall, a disappointing first episode of my Moto2 debut. I'm going to have to move on now to round 3 into the next episode, and hopefully I've got better form there. But I thank you all so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next video very soon.